The House of Representatives has approved a White House request to claw back 2 years of previously approved funding for public media. The rescissions package now moves on to the Senate. This move poses a serious threat to local stations and public media as we know it. Please take a stand for public media today at goacpr.org. Thank you.
Hey, before we get to this week's show, we're working on something new for NPR Plus supporters. They're pulling me out of mothballs to answer some of your car questions. So if you have a car question you'd like to ask me, I'll give you a number and you can call in a moment. And just like the old days, our extremely lazy producers will eventually listen to the messages, pick a few callers for me, we'll set up a time to talk, and I'll screw up the answers just like the old days. NPR Plus supporters will find these occasional, and I do mean occasional episodes, in their NPR Plus Car Talk feed. So if you have a car question, here's the number. It's 888-522-5478. That's 888-522-5478. Now here's the show.
Hello and welcome to Car Talk from National Public Radio with us, Click and Clack, the Tappet Brothers. And we're broadcasting this week from the center, the new Center for Accident Creation here at Car Talk Plaza. Now, we see accident creation as a growth industry. So we thought we'd start a wholly owned subsidiary to promote and encourage accidents. Might as well be ahead of the curve, right? I mean,
right.
What the heck?
Yeah, we're going to come out in full support of the Microsoft Corporation, because I have here an article from, I believe, is this the New York Times? New York Times. Microsoft wants information to travel the real highway. Boop, 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 boop. Detroit, eager to take advantage of the hour a day the average American spends in a car, the Microsoft Corporation has begun developing programs for dashboard-mounted computers that would allow drivers to check electronic mail, trade stocks, and even surf the internet using cellular phone telephone links. Now, there's an idea whose time came and went. What?
No, I don't know.
But we're in favor of it. We are in favor of it.
Well, kind of, I guess. And what else can we endorse in the name of accident creation? I mean, what would be some other good ideas?
Well, I mean, don't they already have TVs? You can just plug in your TV. That's all right.
I suppose so. How about beds for a quick nap between stoplights?
Or when it just gets boring on the road. I mean, a lot of times, you're on especially in Montana, they keep claiming that they got long distances to go. Why be awake for all that?
No,
just doze
off.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite.
Yeah.
Venetian blinds.
Huh?
I mean, why use those wimpy little visors to block out the sun? Pull the string and close off everything, man.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, this is actually worth discussing at great length if you wanted to.
You know me.
Well, I've always contended the reason for bad driving is there aren't enough accidents. Because think about how many times you do stupid things and you don't have an accident.
I can just see your business card now. Thomas Magliozzi, AAI, Automobile Accident Investigator.
Yeah. We need more accidents. And I'm strongly in support of the Microsoft proposal.
There you go.
Because they're going to help us do that.
If you'd like to call us about your car or anything else, our number is 1-888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Oh, hi. This is Fiona calling from Clarkston, Michigan.
Fiona? With an F?
With an F, yep, like Frank.
Yeah.
That's an interesting name.
Well, my mom is from Scotland, and so my dad is American, but my mother's Scottish, and so they gave us one Gaelic name and one American name. And so my Gaelic name is Fiona.
That's a Gaelic name, Fiona?
Yeah.
I always thought it was sort of Mediterranean.
Oh, no, like
Greek.
Scotland, Ireland.
Oh, no. No,
Yeah.
it's a British Isles name.
British Isles.
Is it?
Oh, yes, indeed, lad.
Oh.
Well, top of the morning to you, Fiona.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you for that interesting bit of information.
Yeah.
Everything's new to my brother.
Yeah.
So anyway, Clarkston, Michigan. So what's on your mind, Fiona?
Well, I I have a 91 Probe GT, and it's got 105,000 miles on it. And when the car is cold, it makes an exhaust noise, kind of like there's a hole in the muffler. And it's not really very loud, but it's loud enough to make my neighbor turn around in his driveway and wonder what I'm doing.
And then it goes away when it warms up?
Well, it used to go away completely when it got warm, but now it doesn't really go away, but it kind of changes to a higher pitch noise, and it's not as loud.
Yeah.
And with hard acceleration, it becomes a whistle.
Oh, yeah.
I only get the noise when I'm accelerating and not when I'm at a constant speed. And my husband thought that it sounded like a transmission noise, but when it makes a noise whether or not I have the clutch pressed in or not. So when I rev the engine with the clutch pressed in, it still makes a noise, but not when the car's really hot.
Okay, so actually you can get the noise without even moving the car. Is that
Right.
true? Okay,
Right.
got it.
That would pretty much eliminate lots of things.
Yeah, like wheel bearings, transmission probably,
And,
axles.
and why did you describe it as exhaust noise when you first mentioned it?
Well, because it's kind of how it sounds when the car is really cold. Like I haven't first thing in the morning.
Well,
It's
that's
kind
what
of
it
like
is.
It's kind of like a lower kind of type of thing.
I'm
think
going to
that's
suggest.
I think that's what it is.
I think that's what it is too. And
And I'm going to tell you that it's coming from the front of the car and not the middle or the back.
From the front?
Yeah, that's what I said, Fiona, baby.
Well, where do you think it's coming from?
I don't know.
Good. So she's right for
somebody
the
said it
front
might
suggestion.
Yeah. Are you susceptible to a front? Front is good.
Front is good. No, somebody told me it might be a cracked exhaust manifold.
Exactly that.
That's exactly what it is.
What it is, because what's happening is the crack is there when the manifold is cold, and as we know, most things when they heat it up expand, and the manifold is expanding and closing up that crack, so that the noise changes in pitch and severity.
Exactly, because the space where the hot exhaust is coming through changes shape, and it's like whistling.
Oh, okay.
So when the engine is cold and a lot of exhaust can escape, it sounds more like you have a hole in your muffler, and then as the thing warms up, it'll revert to a whistling sound. Eventually, the manifold will just split in two, and it'll sound like a cement truck all the time.
Oh, it'll probably sound like a machine gun.
Well, now, how quickly would that happen?
I'd say you got about an hour.
Oh, great.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you've had this problem for a long time.
Probably like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting close.
Okay, so
And you were waiting all this time to talk to us, and you didn't think to have someone look at it, of course.
Yeah, that would cost money.
no, see, I was going to take it to have somebody look at it. Actually, I was going to take it to the dealer, and my husband said, "No, don't take it to a dealer. They'll rip you off." And so I listened to him, and I didn't take it. And
Yeah, but if they don't rip you off, how else are they going to keep those nice waiting rooms intact? With
Sure,
those
with
nice
the coffee, the donuts, the air conditioning, the suits on those salesmen.
They're counting on you, Fiona. Go in there and pay your dues.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are wearing $1,000 suits.
Well,
They've got to be paid by somebody.
Now, is this a $1,000 repair though?
No,
Like,
no.
Do they have to pull the engine?
No, but it's several hundred.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
well, that's not too bad.
I mean, they could even get the part at a junkyard, save you a couple of bucks,
Yeah,
but
the
it wouldn't.
dealership wouldn't do that, but your local gas station might.
Okay.
So I would go there.
Yeah, and it's not rocket science.
Get it looked at, because you probably are breathing some of this exhaust that's getting up into your ventilation system.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
that would explain my imaginary friend on the way home from
Yes,
work?
that would.
that's it. Good luck, Fiona.
See you, Fiona.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi. 1-888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Richard. I'm calling from Conifer, Colorado.
Richard from Conifer.
Right.
As in
like
deciduous.
the trees. you
Right,
know?
like
Yeah,
the
like
trees.
the trees.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Conifer.
Yeah, well, fine.
All right.
So who cares, Richard? I mean, what do you want? Come on, we
have
got
a
this. We
problem
don't
with
have
my
all
truck.
day here. Come on, spit it out, man.
I've got a problem with my truck. I've got a Chevy S10 pickup, a 91 S10 pickup, four-wheel drive.
Uh-huh.
And this thing, it's starting to lose power. It started to do this, several weeks ago. I noticed at first when I was driving uphill, and when I would depress the accelerator, it would be kind of like it would just kind of feel like it was just kind of
Logie. A little slow, a little tired.
But I'd let up and the engine would still just be running fine, So I took it into a guy, and he said, well, maybe it's the fuel filter. So we changed the fuel filter.
Good, very good.
That wasn't it.
It didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I took it in to another guy, and he put it on the machine. He says, well, you need a new map sensor.
Good.
The thing is that it's actually worse than ever now.
How soon after you start driving in the morning do you notice the problem?
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
When you start climbing the hills.
Right.
How many miles are on this beast?
113,000.
No, 72,000.
That's all.
That's all.
And it's a stick shift.
Yes.
Well, geez, we wish we could help, Rich. Well, I think the guy with the fuel filter was maybe on the right track. He just didn't go deep enough into it. I think you could easily have a weak fuel pump.
A weak fuel pump?
Which would explain two things.
Okay.
I don't know what they are, but it would explain two things at least. Now, one is it would explain the lack of power, and number two, it would explain why the check engine light hasn't come on. See, if any of your problems...
the check engine line has been coming on when it starts to do this.
It has?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Richard, that was sneaky of you not to have divulged that.
No, the check engine line does come on, but it only comes on, it will flash on for a few seconds, and then it'll go off again.
When you're having the problem?
When I'm having the problem.
Oh.
But not always when I have the problem.
But not always.
Sometimes when I have the problem.
I mean, the check engine light could still be coming on with a bad fuel pump because if the oxygen sensor, and I don't know what codes this guy got. I imagine he must have gotten a code for a bad map sensor, and that's why he changed it. But I would go and have the thing rescanned.
Okay.
It'd be interesting to see if the map sensor comes up again. One of several things could have happened. He could have bought a bad map sensor, which happens. We've had that happen to us. So if it comes up map sensor again, he may want to go through the flow chart, and if it points to the map sensor, change it.
Okay.
Certainly test the fuel pump pressure, which is easy enough to do.
Test the fuel pump pressure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other possibility is that that one of the other sensors is bad, but they're going to have to, if the scanner doesn't say anything, they're going to have to check the sensors one by one.
Okay.
Did we mention the oxygen sensor?
No, we didn't.
We didn't mention the oxygen sensor, but we should. We should.
Okay, the oxygen sensor. You did mention it, I
think.
Well,
the fact that it happens after 10 or 12 minutes of driving.
Right.
That's when the oxygen sensor starts to work. It's not working for the first 10 minutes.
Well, it is. It's
until
working,
the thing warms up.
It's working in the first couple of minutes, but not right away.
Yeah, it takes. It has to get up to temperature, which is 400 degrees centigrade, or is it Kelvin? And so that's another possibility.
Okay. Yeah, the other possibility is you have an obstruction in your exhaust system, probably a catalytic converter.
Oh, really?
Which should prevent high-speed operation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, all these things are possible, and we have no idea which one of them is the right answer.
But we feel for you, Richard. We really do.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That makes me feel a lot better.
I know. See you, Richard.
Good luck. Thank you.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
He's going to need it.
Yes, he is.
There's a lot more stuff coming up right after the following messages, so stick around.
These days, there is a lot of news. It can be hard to keep up with what it means for you, your family, and your community. Consider This from NPR as a podcast that helps you make sense of the news. 6 days a week, we bring you a deep dive on a story and provide the context, the backstory, and analysis you need to understand our rapidly changing world. Listen to the Consider This podcast from NPR.
The Nintendo Switch 2 is already the fastest-selling video game console of all time. That's despite the technology behind it lagging years behind its competitors.
Without saying it, Nintendo is selling a culture.
On The Indicator, we unpack the unusual business strategy that transformed a tiny Japanese toy company into a global multimedia giant. Listen to The Indicator from Planet Money, wherever you get your podcasts.
It all starts with listening to the person in front of you and the person you'll never meet, to the person living a story and the journalist who helps you see it in a new light. The NPR network is built on listening, with microphones in every region, so we're there anytime a voice or sound demands to be heard. Hear stories in the first person, hear the bigger picture on NPR.
Hi, we're back. You're listening to Car Talk on National Public Radio with us, Click and Clack, the Tappert Brothers, and we're here to discuss cars, car repair, and some Wright answers.
Yeah, they're
for a
right
change.
because they're all Stephen Wright.
My brother's been amusing himself for the last 2 hours, sitting there chuckling.
I don't know where this came from. It's not email.
No, it's...
Oh, it came from a website. Farouk's humor page.
Aha.
Stephen Wright is a very strange guy. Here are just a few Wrightisms. I'll just pick out a few here. I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of wits. I got a dog. And I named him Stay. Now I say, come here, Stay. One day I spilled spot remover on my dog. He's gone now. I stayed up all night playing poker with tarot cards. I got a full house and 4 people died. The sign said 8 items or less. So I changed my name to Les. Whoa. Woo! This man is gone.
Well,
good for you, Stephen. Hope they let you out of the home soon.
No, stay in. He may do his best work there. Hey, look, if you have a question about your car or anything else, our number is 1-888-CAR-TALK. That's 1-888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Gus, and I'm from Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
Gus?
Yes, that's me.
I mean, is your real name like Augustus or...
No, it's Gus. It's the name I chose for myself when I became a citizen.
Really?
Yes.
What? Did you emigrate from, like, Manhattan?
I'm from Amsterdam, the Netherlands.
Really?
You came here when you were
5
12.
years old.
5.
That's why I do not speak mit der accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Amsterdam.
Our fair city.
And you chose Gus as a name.
Well, it used to be Gus with 2 U's, and it's pronounced Huus, which most people can't say because you will have to clear your throat in a particular way when you say it.
Oh, that's good in New Jersey. Is Hughes going to the movies with us?
I come from a long line of Flemish painters.
Oh, so you...
Gus with 2 U's. What are those Dutch people thinking?
Well, that's why I'm here. I don't want to be associated with them anymore.
So anyway, Gus, from Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
Yes.
What's up, man?
I have an 82 GMC pickup truck, just a standard plain vanilla pickup that I inherited from a friend.
What size engine?
It's a 6-cylinder engine.
6-cylinder?
But here's the problem. It won't shift into park. Now, it sounds very easy, but before you give me the easy answers, I've already disconnected the linkage, done all the proper adjustments, and we put the transmission in neutral, and the transmission does go into park if you lay underneath it and switch it into place.
Oh, you can do it from underneath, but you can't do it from inside the truck.
Now, I can monkey with the linkage and get it to go into park, but then my only options are park, reverse, and neutral. And since I don't run demolition derby for a living...
That's an interesting set of options.
Now, here's what else I've done.
Okay.
I've completely disassembled the steering column. And I can't find anything wrong.
Wow.
Well, this thing has a linkage that runs. It has a bar that runs from the shifter.
That's right.
That comes through the firewall.
Exactly.
And it runs down to the transmission.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow I've got to believe that the geometry here is wrong. Something has moved. Either the frame on this thing is twisted, or there's not enough adjustment you can put into this thing to get into park to push that.
No.
So
could it be the motor mounts or the transmission
Sure
mounts?
could be.
Yeah.
Sure could be.
Ah.
Sure, it could be a bad motor mount, a broken motor mount. It could be something. It's got to be something that's bent or out of position.
Ah, so I've got to look at the transmission mounts at the engine mount.
The whole thing, the engine and transmission may have just moved back by some amount.
Ah.
Yeah. Now, I was going to
fact-
suggest a creative solution. It's going to be too hard to fix. I mean, otherwise the thing runs okay.
That's wonderful.
Okay. How's about this?
A creeper. You get out of the vehicle and real fast, you slide underneath and you throw it in park.
Well, no. If you cut a hole in the floor in just the right spot,
Yeah.
Right?
you're going to make yourself, Gus,
Right.
a homemade floor shift for this, which will consist of clothespins, rope, coat hangers.
Actually, it's very simple to do.
Yeah, actually, you could buy a kit and put a floor shifter on this thing.
That's what I should do. Huh?
That's what you should do. And forget about the column shift. I mean, you should obviously look to see if the motor mounts are broken or if any of the frame is busted. You know, if you had a broken weld or something, everything could be all out of whack. And with a vehicle this age, anything could be wrong with it.
Of course, now the other problem is I've got that whole steering column apart. I never knew there were so many springs and things.
Oh,
that were
never
yearning for-
get
Yeah,
that
but
back
you'll
together
be
again.
surprised at how many of those pieces are unnecessary.
I'll bet that when I reassemble it, I have enough to build another half a steering column.
Just tell me, when you took it, since you took it apart, have you blinked?
Oh, too many times.
Yeah, forget it. It's hopeless.
Yeah, the phone hasn't rung or anything like that. The phone rings, you're done for.
Any interruption, forget it. You'll never get it back together
In
again.
fact, if you read the book, it tells you to empty your bladder before commencing work
this
on the
job.
steering column.
Well, I
Because
have to
any
admit-
interruption and you're done for.
I have to admit, when I started taking the steering column apart, that happened naturally.
Gus, I wish you the very best. And
Check out the motor mounts. If they're okay and you can't figure it out, you can have a mechanic cut a hole in the floor and you can put a floor shift in.
Okay,
And it'll be great. You'll love it.
terrific.
And it'll look cool, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
See
Then I
ya,
have to get
Gus.
glass packs.
I can see it now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You can actually do it with like a broom handle and a couple of
Well, I'd say
Clothespins.
rope, clothespins, some old hangers. You could do it that
you
way.
could actually. It's not rocket science.
No, I mean, it
It
really
is
isn't.
rocket science.
1-888-CAR-TALK or 1-888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Marlene from Montreal.
Hi, Marlene.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Montreal?
Yeah.
Isn't that a foreign country?
Yes, it is.
Well, I love Montreal. I've been there several times for little vacations, except that the last time it was like going to France.
Yeah.
Nobody understood me or cared to.
And
They
there's no
they
signs
understand
in
you
English.
perfectly well. They just don't want to admit it.
That's right.
That's right, because they are what?
Yeah.
French.
And if I want to be insulted like that, damn it, I'll go to France.
Actually, they're nicer in France about it. At least signs are
no.
bilingual in France, and there's no language police.
No language,
yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Jeez, it must be wacko up
Well,
there.
I'm sure your phone is being tapped, so you might want to make this. You might want to make this quick.
Make this short before they triangulate on you.
Right.
What kind of a Peugeot do you own?
I don't. I own a Celica, a Toyota Celica.
We call it Celica down below the border here, but
Okay.
Celica is fine.
Okay. I drive Boston, Montreal, Montreal, Boston about twice a month.
Really?
When I'm driving down, if I stop, the car won't start again. First, they said there's a small crack in your distributor cap, so they replaced that. Then they told me the next time, maybe it's your starter. They replaced that. Maybe it's the alternator. It never happens unless I'm driving straight through.
Yeah.
And what happens when you try to restart it? Is there no sound whatsoever, or does it make the
Nothing.
sound?
Nothing.
Nothing. It's just
Oh.
dead.
And
It
the
doesn't
only
go.
thing No, nothing. The only thing that gets it started is I put it into second, and I'm lucky.
And get
I'll
someone
get
to
some
give it a
guys
push.
to push me, and it starts again.
This is good.
It is good.
It's very good.
It's very good. It's in fact, it's so good, it's unsolvable. No, I don't know what they've done except to replace the.
But everything
the
I can
cap.
I can tell you that of all the things you mentioned,
There's only one it could
there
be.
was only one it could have possibly been, and the others were complete nonsense. Like the alternator? Come on. It wasn't a distributor cap? No. If they thought that those things were going to fix this problem, you got to go somewhere else. That's the first point, because these guys don't understand how things work.
Okay.
How long do you have to have been driving for this to happen? Will 1 hour do it?
Just over an hour, yeah.
Just over an hour.
Oh, here's
Well,
what-
here's what's happening. We don't know. My brother's going to tell you what it is.
Okay,
I'll
I'd
just,
love to
course.
hear
I'll
what's
just-
happening.
My brother will lay the ground.
I'll lay the groundwork because I don't have I don't have a clue. As you drive, everything is getting hot,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
and the heat is causing something to expand, such that when you go to turn on the starter, there's a connection that is not being made.
Well, that thing is the solenoid. The solenoid is failing when it heats up.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. This is a classic symptom for this car.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and you need to. What you need to do
Is
is
slow
to
down.
drive the slow down. Yes, that's
Wait,
another
this
issue.
has a separate solenoid
No, the
or it's on
solenoid
the
is
starter?
the solenoid is on the starter. You need to
They
drive this
replaced-
thing.
They replaced the starter.
They didn't replace the starter.
They replaced the starter.
Yes, they did.
She said they. See, as I said, neither my brother or I has the faintest idea.
Why did you let them replace the starter?
See, I mean, that's what that would have been the reason that we would have given. But see, I was awake when you said they replaced the starter, and my brother was dozing.
He's exhausted.
Wait a minute. I give me a chance to regroup here. So obviously it starts with a push. So obviously the starter is not getting energized. It's entirely possible that they did one of two things: either installed a faulty starter or merely spray painted your old one.
Yeah, I mean, if you had called without telling us that you would replace the starter, we would have said you're going to replace the starter. But since they've already done that, you've thrown a wrinkle into this, and we don't know the answer.
Well, here's what you've got to do, Marlene, and it's very simple. Take the car out for a long drive.
Okay.
But when you're halfway through this long drive, turn around and come back home to your mechanic.
And drive directly into the shop.
Right. And then tell him you're doing this. Call him up and say, I'm on my way. I'll be there in half an hour or an hour. And have the test light ready because we need to find out if the solenoid is getting energized when I turn the key.
Okay.
And when he finds out that the solenoid is getting energized, he'll know that he installed a faulty starter. If it isn't energized, he's going to have to look someplace else. It's possible it's a faulty ignition switch, or it's the clutch interlock switch, which is preventing it from starting.
Okay.
Or it's a bad connection someplace. But he ought to be able to figure it out in 2 minutes when you pull in.
We'll try it
But
again.
not this guy that you went to before, because he's replacing distributor caps, so he's obviously what? A moron.
He's a wacko.
French-Canadian.
Eh?
Well, a bientôt, Marlene.
Okay, au revoir.
Au revoir.
What
We have to take a short break.
is this? You already had a break.
Yeah, but I hold on to coffee like you hold on to puzzles.
Goes right through you, huh?
With a major shift in our politics underway in this country, 1A is drilling down on what's at stake for you and our democracy. In our weekly series, If You Can Keep It, we put these changes into focus and answer your questions about the impact of the Trump administration on the U.S. Join us every Monday for If You Can Keep It on the 1A podcast from NPR and WAMU.
On NPR's Wildcard podcast, Michelle Obama says she's reinventing herself.
I don't know if my ambition has ever fully been able to actualize itself. I think I'm now at a stage in my life where all my choices are mine.
I'm Rachel Martin. Listen to Wildcard for a conversation about balancing family and personal growth with Michelle Obama.
Electric vehicles are supposed to be the future, fast, clean, and everywhere. But now even automakers are pulling back. What happened?
The pace of electrification was not going to be as fast as everybody thought.
On the Sunday Story from Up First, hear how shifting politics and changing demand are slowing down the EV revolution. Listen now to the Sunday Story on the Up First podcast from NPR.
Hola, it's Sarah Gonzalez. At Planet Money, when we say we want you to understand the economy, sure, we mean tariffs and global supply chains and interest rates, cosas así, but also we shot a satellite into space. We made our own vodka, became a record label, made a comic book, all to help you make better sense of the world around you. Listen to the Planet Money podcast from NPR.
Hey, we're back. You're listening to Car Talk on National Public Radio with us, Click and Clack, the Tappet Brothers, and we're here to discuss cars, car repair, and a brilliant new discovery.
Yes, here's a letter I got from a listener of ours. It says, Dear Tom and Ray, I wanted to write to express my great joy in a recent discovery. I was surfing your website at work this week and found that all summer you are posting classic Car Talk puzzlers. Boy, is this great. Not only can I now hear the puzzler whenever I want to, but you should be commended for an even more exciting innovation. Now we listeners can get our weekly dose of the puzzler without having to listen to the rest of your lousy show. Your thoughtfulness is unmatched. Sincerely, Dad.
Oh, I thought it might have been from the Menendez brothers. Now you're going to discuss the Bard with us?
Right. This is good. Dennis Gittinger from the great cyber world sent us the top plays. I love this. The top plays Shakespeare chose not to publish. Here they are. Fast Times at Verona High. How about Christopher Marlowe, you can kiss my Elizabethan butt. And my favorite, Hamlet 2. Where the hell is everybody? He actually wrote all these, huh?
Oh, he did, yeah. He penned them all, and of course.
That's good. And he didn't think that some of these would have mass market appeal.
No,
Yeah. Well, I think today, and in retrospect, today, maybe if we can get the manuscripts.
Oh, they're out there. And if they're not, someone's working on
them right now.
On discovering them.
Okay, now what?
Well, it's time to try and give out some wrong answers. So if you have a question about your car, our number is 1-888-CAR-TALK. That's 1-888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Carly from Ewing, New Jersey.
Carly?
Carly.
As in Carly Simon?
As in Carly Simon.
With a Y.
No.
I had started to do an I.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is an I, and you're the only person who doesn't want to put an E on it.
And you're from where?
Ewing, New Jersey. That's halfway between Princeton and Trenton.
Ewing as in E-W-I-N-G?
Yeah, like those guys who have that ranch down in Texas.
Yeah. Like what's his name? J.R.
J.R. Ewing.
Anyway, what's up, Carly?
I have this Vanagon. I'm deeply in love with it. But on long trips, it eats tires.
Really?
Yes. On the inside of the tire, it will wear.
Yeah.
And my husband, for no reason whatsoever, put his hand on the inside of the tire.
And he got stuck with the steel belt.
Yeah, and after we had him sewed up, no, I exaggerate that.
Yeah.
There was a huge hole.
And this is the front tires.
No, it's a back tire.
One of the back tires.
Back tires.
Really?
Well, it's possible.
When was the accident?
Last August.
Very good question.
Okay, it happened again.
Well, what?
No, you had an accident with this vehicle.
Oh, maybe it wasn't a very good question.
No, it was a good question.
I thought so, too.
There was an incident.
Was there an incident with this vehicle when it was struck by another vehicle?
Not to my knowledge.
Or was driven into a curb at high speed?
No.
What year is this Vanagon?
87.
How long have you had it?
A year and a half.
Oh, there was an incident.
Yeah. Someone drove this thing into a curb, and somebody bent something in the rear end. Those rear tires are out of alignment.
Way out of alignment.
Okay, they're new. I put new tires on when I got.
Oh no, the tires are okay. But
you're going to wreck the next set of tires you put on too, because when you put the tires on the car, they're not going on there in the right place because the wheel on which they sit is cockeyed.
You have three wheels that are pointing straight ahead when you're trying to go straight ahead, and the wheel in question is towed in.
Uh-huh.
And what's happening is because it's not towed in enough so that you could see it. But as the tire rolls, it's constantly scuffing the inner part of the tire so that it wears out peculiarly. And it can wear out in just a few thousand miles. So you need to take this thing to an alignment shop and have the rear end aligned. Or have them tell you that it's so far out that they can't realign it.
Well, they can't tell me that.
Yeah, no, they'll fix it. They'll fix it.
No, it can be fixed.
Okay.
But the alignment shop may not be able to fix it. You may have to go to a body or frame shop.
Okay.
Where they're going to whack this thing back, and they're going to pull it back into position.
Yeah.
Are they going to whack the machine and whack my wallet?
They're going to whack your wallet real good, yeah. But you've got to fix it because it's dangerous. This tire could blow at any second.
Just go directly to the alignment shop and tell them what the problem is.
Right. In fact, I'd cut this call short right now and get in line at the alignment shop.
Yeah. Thanks, Carly.
And thank you very much. I'll go have that looked at.
Good.
See you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
1-888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Tim in Manassas.
Manassas?
Tim in Manassas.
Yeah.
Manassas what?
Manassas, Virginia, of course.
Oh, so what's up?
Well, I have this great little car, and I put it back together, and it won't start.
What is it?
It's a little Fiat, actually.
No! Is it a Fiat Spider?
It's a Fiat 2000 Spider.
Oh, no! Come on, you gotta be kidding me!
Oh, no, it's the best little 2000 Spider.
What year?
1980.
Do you know what I bought the other day? I bought a 1979 Fiat 2000 Spider.
Well, then you're obviously qualified to tell me how to fix it.
No, it's stuck in my driveway. I can't get it running.
It's stuck in third gear.
I said I bought it. I haven't driven it yet.
Oh. That's it.
All right, what's the problem?
Well, I was driving it along one day, back when it drove, and made kind of a loud noise, and it quit running. So, being the smart man that I was, I just had it shipped to a shop to be fixed. But they wanted enough money to quadruple its value to me to fix it. And what they said had happened was that the tensioner pulley that holds the timing belt in had destroyed itself.
Oh, you bent the valves.
No, I didn't. That's the good news.
You lucky stiff.
I am, because the thing is, when it destroyed itself, the timing chain didn't actually slip off. It just slipped a few notches.
We know this for a fact. How do we know this?
Well, that's a really good question, because he said he did a compression check, and of course it was out of time, so there was no compression. But he's given me his best estimate that the valves and the pistons are still working.
So he's just going to put a new belt and a tensioner on it.
Well, that's what he suggested I do, or pay him a fortune to do.
How much did he want?
$750.
Oh!
Well, like I said, he wanted to quadruple its value. I did what he told me to do, and it won't start.
No, that his diagnosis was wrong. You need to do another compression. I mean, I'll tell you, these things bend valves at the drop of a hat.
Okay.
So it's very likely that you bent valves.
Yeah, I'm not convinced.
And why did he want $750? It's a trivial job.
Well, that's what I thought, because I did, as I've mentioned, put it
Yeah,
on.
how long did it take you to do it?
Well,
how many weekends? 3?
At least 3. But most of that was getting the primary nut off.
Picking up the beer.
Sure. That means he could have done it in 3 hours.
I think that's
right. And you're sure, you're confident that you lined up the 2 sprockets for the cams correctly.
I'm pretty sure.
And now he's saying, what 2 sprockets?
Wait a minute. Now, why do you have no compression?
Oh, I don't say I have no compression. The only thing I've gotten,
you said something about, I jumped a couple of notches, so it's out of time, so I have no compression.
Well, that's what he told me when I took it to the shop.
If it were enough out of time, you could have no compression because the valves would be opening at the wrong time.
Right.
So it's possible when the piston is coming up on this compression stroke, one of the valves is open up. But if it's open up too much, it's going to get bent. That's the problem.
But see, if it's that far off that you really have no compression,
then
something is fishy. Because if it's only off a notch or 2, you're going to have compression because it doesn't matter that they're closing at the wrong time. They're closing, more or less.
Well, you may have had some compression. You may have had 25 pounds of cylinder.
I think maybe he did say poor compression.
Poor, yeah. So
poor, okay.
Do the compression test. That's going to tell you all.
Okay.
Now, if the timing belt took you 3 weekends, you'll be driving this thing with any luck by Labor Day weekend.
By Labor Day, who needs a convertible?
Hey, that's right. There
Tim,
you go.
If God forbid, if none of this works out for the best, and believe me, I have great empathy for you, but I could use a parts car.
Good luck, Tim.
Do the compression test and let us know what happens.
Thank you much.
Good luck, man.
Bye.
Well, it's time to say goodbye to everyone else. You've done exactly what you should be doing in the summer. You've completely wasted an hour listening to Car Talk. Our esteemed producer is Doug the Subway Fugitive, not a slave to fashion Berman. Our associate producer and dean of the College of Automusicology is Ken Babyface Rogers. Our assistant producer is Catherine Imelda Marcos Ray. And our engineer is Jonathan Superhighway Sideburns Marston. And our menu advisor is Mr. John S. Lawler, who's not here.
Not here now, no.
Our public opinion pollster is Paul Murky of Murky Research, assisted by statistician Margin Overa. Our customer care representative is Haywood Jabuzzoff, assisted by Kurt Reply. Our director of catering is Russell Upson Grubb. Our director of winter motorcycling is Helmut Cold. Peekaboo Street directs our intensive care unit, which is known as the Peekaboo ICU. Our director of moral support is Hugh DeMann. Our sexual harassment counselor is Pat McCann. And our Leo Tolstoy biographer is Warren Peace, author of Leo Tolstoy by Warren Peace. Our chief counsel from the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham & Howe is Hugh Lewis Dewey, known to the American Association of Disgraced Lawyers as Huey Louie Dewey. Thanks so much for listening. We're Click and Clack. The Tappert Brothers. Don't drive like my brother.
Don't drive like my brother.
Or our sister. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
And now, with an extraordinarily important announcement, here is Car Talk Plaza's chief mechanic, Mr. Vincent Gumbats. Vinny?
Hey, thank you very much. Now, if you want a copy of this week's Car Talk show, which happens to be show number 32, the number is 1-888-CAR-JUNK.
Now, what if someone wanted Car Talk CDs or T-shirts? Would they call that very same number, Vinny?
No, you call Kenneth Starr's office. Of course you call the same number, 888-CAR-JUNK. Or you can get stuff through our online shameless commerce division at the Car Talk section of cars.com.
Vinny, have you ever heard of the relaxation response?
Hey, you want to be relaxed? Come here. Car Talk is a production of Dewey, Cheatham and Howe and WBUR in Boston.
And even though Ray Suarez has a good cry every time he hears us say it, this is NPR, National Public Radio.
On NPR's Throughline.
School teachers are going to be the ones that rebuild our society in a way that is more cohesive. Basically, where soldiers set down their arms, school teachers need to pick up their books.
How the U.S. Department of Education tried to fix a divided nation.
Listen to Throughline wherever you get your podcasts.
What would you think if you saw a robot dog out for a walk in your neighborhood?
What the hell is that? Oh my God.
This is Basha. She's hanging out with us. So could I have a medium?
Double takes, and how they can change your point of view. That's on the TED Radio Hour podcast from NPR.
Here on The Indicator from Planet Money, we fanned out across the country to ask how you are feeling about the 2025 economy.
Anxious, uncertain,
unfair,
turbulent,
crazy.
We don't just recite the headlines, we show you how the economy is affecting your life in 10 minutes or less. Each weekday, listen to The Indicator from Planet Money, wherever you get your podcasts.